Hey minasan! How's everybody doing? So today I am making this video so that I can personally do this. See this? This is Jet. So the other day I found out that I did not get the interview for Jet, which means I've been denied from the Jet program, the world's leading program in Japan for placing foreigners in elementary, junior, and high schools. And I did not get it. The program would have paid for pretty much everything. My trip there, helped me get an apartment, helped me while I'm there, helped me with everything, and I didn't even make it to the interview round, which actually hurts my self-esteem a little bit because I at least wanted to get to the interview and get denied afterwards, but no, actually, I'm okay. Actually, I don't really mind. It's actually an extremely competitive program, and I found out some other people that applied also did not get in, which means, you know, it's not just me. A lot of other really qualified people didn't make it. But, so today I wanted to talk to you about my other options now that I am not going to the JET program. Because maybe you've been denied by JET, or maybe you're planning on working as an English teacher in Japan, and you'd like to know the other options in case you don't get JET. Because odds are you probably should just go for JET first. But if you don't get it, there are plenty of other options. There are two different things. There's ALT and there's Eikaiwa. And these are basically your options for teaching English Japan when you're straight out of college with your bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degree necessary. If you don't have one, go get one and come back to this video afterwards. Here's the difference. ALT is like JET, and that's where you get dispatched to high schools by whoever's placing you, and you know, become a bit of the community. You get maybe more than one area you have to go to, and it's fairly easy. There's a Japanese instructor, and you're basically helping. You're not teaching the course. You're just assisting the Japanese instructor. So an Eikaiwa is an English language school, and there were 4 major Eikaiwas in Japan. And those are ECC, GEOS, Aeon, and Nova. Now, GEOS and Nova have collapsed, so they went bankrupt. I think they were bought out by another company, I think G Corporation or something. And I'm not sure if they run under the names GEOS and Nova still, or that new name, but I think they might still. I'm not sure what's going on with those two, so forget them. There's ECC that's still available, and there is Aeon. Now the thing is, when you teach in the Eikaiwas, you're basically teaching adults. And I kind of have a lot of experience teaching children, so since I don't really have experience teaching English, even though all you need is a bachelor's degree, I'm going for programs that mainly teach kids, because it's kind of what I want to do. So I've actually applied to a program under Aeon called Aeon Amity. So this program is called Amity, and it's basically Aeon for kids. And I heard it's better than a typical Eikaiwa, because when you work with kids, you get the experience of working with kids, which is fun, and you get to, I guess, dress up during the holidays and hang up their artwork, and it's a bit more casual and laid back and not as formal. I mean, it's still formal because Japan itself is pretty formal in these kind of things, but it's supposed to be more fun. Now for ALT program, I have applied to Interac because JET denied me. Interac is the same thing as JET, except it doesn't pay for anything at all, except I think it helps you find a cheap apartment, but it really doesn't pay for anything. So Interac or Amity, I have actually got a interview, a group interview. So it's not like I'm really close yet. It's the we like your application so far, so you can go to the next round kind of interview. For Amity in Toronto, which is kind of far from me, but it's closer than LA, which is the only other place I can go to. And for Interac, they also accepted my first round of the application, and they said they'll call me in March for a phone interview, and if I get the phone interview, then I get a real interview. And same thing for Amity, if I pass the group interview, I get a private interview. So, I can go with either one, actually. Those are the 2 best programs I've found so far. I think I found another one that's kind of like Amity, that I might send in an application to pretty soon. But I'm kind of going back and forth between Interac and Amity. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of these programs. If you have, then I would really like any advice on either of these two programs because I'm still kind of looking into them. As of right now, what I know is that, well, since either of them are not JET, it's not a government-sponsored program, it's more based on money, less on your personal comfort. Although the problem with JET is that they can place you in the middle of the countryside, in the middle of nowhere. This is the main problem with JET. Whereas the Eikaiwa and Interac, you have a much more of an option of where you want to go, and you can get placed into a city much better. So that's why I'm kind of happy, you know, if I get either or if I get another Eikaiwa job, I will have a better chance of being in a city, and a city that I really like and want to go to, which I'm hoping for either in central Japan, Kansai again if I have to, but I want a different experience, or maybe in Kyushu, southern Japan would be cool. Kansai would be cool because I'd be near Tokyo, but since I might want to go to university there, and since it's expensive, I probably would want to start somewhere else. And plus, I heard if you do get an Eikaiwa or an ALT job in Tokyo, it's much more strict. Thing is, for Interac, even though I heard ALT jobs are much better because they are less demanding, it seems that they don't pay as much as Amity. It seems like both of them have orientation periods that they reimburse you for travel. They both seem to pay for travel to and from your job, but both of them don't pay to go to Japan, but Amity pays for you to go home. Amity's paying 285,000 yen, where Interac says 250,000 yen. I think both of them said they'd put me on a health insurance program, but Interac seems to tell me that the apartment that they'll get me, that they'll help me find the cheapest one, but Interac says it's going to be anywhere from 50,000 to 90,000 yen depending on where you are, where Amity says for sure it can only be 42,000 yen. So they put a cap on it. They'll pay anything past that no matter where they place you. So that sounds good. Both of them, all the apartments in Japan are small, so it really depends on what they find for you and where you're going to be. Amity says they'll pay 2,000 yen, like $200, to help you start up, where Interac says they can give you up to, I believe, like $2,000, 200,000 yen in a loan. Loan, money just given to me, loans more. Money given to me is not a loan. So both of them are sounding really good right now. I could probably go either way, but I'm gonna do the interviews. Odds are one of them could deny me and the other one could accept me. And that's kind of where I'm going right now. So I hope that didn't get confusing. If it did, feel free to ask me a question. If you're thinking about working in Japan, you have a bachelor's degree, and you want to teach English for a year, you know, just as an in-between kind of thing, you know, get the experience. It's a year-long contract for both of them. That's renewable, and you can stay longer if you're really enjoying it. It seems that for both programs, for anywhere, even though Eikaiwas are more strict and more demanding because you have to teach the class yourself, it really depends on where they place you. To see, it could be stricter, it could be more easier, the people could be nicer, the kids could be better. It all depends on what's available in Japan and where they put you and what school they put you at, because the culture at that school and in that area is going to be a little bit different varying on where you go. So I can't really say that either program is going to be better than the other, because I've read online good things about both of them and bad things about both of them. So we'll see. No guarantees, but I will, this is a promise, make it to Japan either this summer or this fall. Probably banking on during the summer. I will be there doing something somehow. There are a lot of options, and I will not stop until I achieve my dreams. Okay? Bye-bye.